Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, tech's taking root. Chicago's tech exodus is showing signs of slowing. As Groupon grows, other local startups are finding it easier to win funding that allows them to set up shop in Chicago. In the last couple months, 2 internet businesses have decided to make the city their permanent home after scoring some early-stage funding. Future Simple, which makes web-based sales software for small companies, and Fee Fighters, a site for small businesses to compare credit card processors, they both won $1.1 million in venture capital. Sean Harper is a University of Chicago Booth Business School graduate and says he really wanted to stay here and help build what he calls a tech ecosystem.
The only reason why we would ever consider moving is if it was tied to money and we needed the money to keep going. If we couldn't live without the money and we could only get it somewhere else, then we might have to move.
Harper raised cash from Sandbox Ventures, OCA Ventures, the I2A Fund, and Hyde Park Angels, along with 2 California firms. These firms, unlike other out-of-state investors, let Fee Fighters stay in Chicago.
Venture capitalists in the Bay Area are notorious for saying, oh yeah, we think what you're doing is really interesting. Why don't you move out here and then we'll consider funding you? Which is actually a pretty big deal to move halfway across the country for a we'll consider funding you. And it's also, for us, it wasn't just folks in the Bay Area. We had a firm in Los Angeles, a firm in Austin, and firms in the Bay Area that wanted to write us a term sheet but insisted on us moving out there before they would do it.
Local incubators like Accelerate Labs and Lightbank have made it easier for software companies to get started here. Until recently, Booth graduates like Harper almost automatically moved to Silicon Valley to grow. One of the best known, Bump Technologies, maker of the popular iPhone application, the company moved in 2009. But now Illinois is outpacing the national average when it comes to early-stage venture funding. The number of investments climbed 20% compared with a 12% rise nationwide. The total amount of investment in the state leaped 80% to $79 million compared with just a 6% jump in the U.S. Cash may not be as much of a problem for entrepreneurs, but finding good talent can be. Biotech ventures have a particularly hard time sprouting in Chicago, mainly because of the financing needed to cover years of research and development. And that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. You can read more on this story in this week's print edition of Crain's and chicagobusiness.com. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.